Unlock the hidden power of attraction by mastering the art of subtlety and tension. It's not about words, but the silent pauses, the unspoken glances, and the restrained touch that leave an indelible impression. Discover how the most captivating moments come from leaving things unsaid, creating a world of uncertainty that sparks desire and longing. Want to learn how to ignite attraction effortlessly? It's all about understanding the hidden language of connection that resonates on a deeper level. Step into the realm of true seduction and transform the way you engage with the world. Welcome to the realm of Stoic love. To motivate us to make more useful videos, please subscribe to the channel and share with your friends. Remember to like and leave a comment. Whatever it is, your feedback will help us learn from you and grow. Now let's explore the wonderful things ahead together. There exists a fleeting moment, quiet and subtle, when a woman internally resolves that she yearns for someone. It is not in the moments of self-declaration, nor in the act of settling the bill, and certainly not in the flattery he offers her. It is at the moment he conquers the unseen skill of restraint, not the strain of exertion, of striving, or of yearning for validation, but the subtle tension that resonates in the underlying meaning of a word, in the deliberate cadence of a sentence, or in the unintentional touch that lingers just a moment longer than anticipated. Many individuals falter not due to their appearance, wealth, or social standing. They falter due to their transparency, as they express every thought and display every emotion, rendering what is fully exposed as easily disregarded. The contemporary woman finds little allure in the mundane. She is intrigued by what remains beyond her complete comprehension. She seeks out what tests her emotions. What prompts her to ponder the meaning behind his words? Is he expressing interest or simply being kind? It is within the space that exists between assurance and uncertainty that the essence of sexual tension emerges. In that moment, the average individuals fade away, and the genuine masters of allure step into the arena. Nietzsche asserted that actions motivated by love transcend the boundaries of good and evil. But what of the actions taken in pursuit of desire? The yearning that remains unspoken, conveyed through silences, fleeting looks, and subtle hints masked as light-hearted banter. Desire, in contrast to love, is a powerful force that oversteps boundaries, acting without seeking consent. To reach it, one must let go of reason, caution, and the desire for validation. One must master the art of inciting thought without direct engagement, to imply rather than assert, and to evoke deep responses through subtle gestures. What appears to be magic is, in fact, the result of disciplined technique. What may appear to be instinct is, in fact, a well-defined structure. Interestingly, it all starts with a subtle shift in language, a minor disruption of expectation, a dissonance that stirs her emotional mind, akin to a quiet signal, indicating that there is something here she cannot fully understand, and that is precisely why it draws her in. Sexual tension is not merely created in the bedroom, it is cultivated in the moments leading up to it. It resides in the subtle nuances of a conversation that appears innocent, yet is carefully designed to evoke vivid mental images, stir bodily sensations, and provoke involuntary anticipations. The philosopher Ortega Agassiz observed that surrender arises from a deep sense of fascination. Fascination represents the refined expression of tension that is skillfully controlled. Captivating a woman doesn't demand you to be exceptional. It simply requires the ability to cultivate an environment that allows her to envision scenarios she might hesitate to express openly. The essence of tension lies in its ability to convert uncertainty into aspiration. This video does not focus on clever pickup lines, scripted phrases, or techniques for eliciting laughter. This is a guide for cultivating sexual tension through deliberate, thoughtful, and instinctual understanding. We will analyze the situation that starts with an unclear term and concludes with her guiding your hand beneath the table. We will recognize how each gesture, every pause, and every glance can serve as a catalyst. We will uncover how the essence of tension is found in speaking less while implying more. Ultimately, your perspective on high will be transformed forever. Now, inhale deeply. Set aside all preconceived notions about seduction and get ready to tap into a level of power that only a select few dare to embrace. There exists an unspoken dialect in the art of attraction that many overlook, the underlying meaning. The manner in which you express yourself holds far greater significance than the actual content of your words. Your manner of expression holds little significance when weighed against her comprehension, or more accurately, her interpretation of the situation. The human brain, particularly the female brain within a social framework, serves as a hub of interpretations. It relentlessly seeks to understand motives, assess dangers, and foresee actions. In the midst of this quiet turmoil, the genuine seducer carefully sows his message, not merely as a statement, but as a thought-provoking uncertainty. When a man gazes at a woman and remarks that this dessert is turning him on, he is not referring to physical desire, yet he is. Her mind is aware of it. That is precisely the essence. He engages in playful banter, leaving things unsaid, stirring her thoughts with the power of uncertainty. This key holds great power as it instills uncertainty, and uncertainty serves as a driving force for longing. The woman starts to contemplate. Is he truly earnest? Was that merely a jest? Is my attractiveness apparent to him? Every one of these inquiries evokes a release of emotion. Every emotional release forges a subtle connection, a psychological link, an unseen thread of tension that starts to surround her, even if she remains unaware of it. Here lies a truth that remains largely unspoken. Appreciation does not stem from overt commendation. It emerges from veiled admiration. It's not merely about complimenting her beauty, it's about recognizing the need to address the teasing and standing up for her dignity. The significance arises not from the words alone. The origin lies in the mental picture it evokes. This is the practical application of psychological principles. The female mind connects sensory language with tangible experiences. To describe something as delicious, haughty, or tasty is not to be vulgar. You are engaging the limbic system, the very system that reacts to touch, scent, memories, and arousal. That is precisely why these words hold significant power, particularly when employed in unexpected contexts. Consider this. You are consuming a standard beverage. As you savor the moment, you glance at her and with a subtle smile, acknowledge that this has stirred something within you. Authentic, subtly humorous, straightforward, yet meticulously strategic beneath the surface. What you're engaging in is not merely a discussion about the drink. It's an examination of her intellect. When she smiles, when she bites her lip, when she looks down, you have set the mechanism in motion. That subtle action resembles igniting the initial flame in a shadowy space. This is where the idea of layers of intention becomes relevant. Your communication always conveys multiple layers of meaning. You convey different tiers of understanding. The exterior remains logical. The beverage, the taste, the situation. Yet, underneath that surface, there exists a deeper significance. When executed with intention, it turns even the most casual dialogue into a rich landscape for attraction and intrigue. It's not about manipulation. It's about refinement. It's not trickery. It's the art of emotional orchestration. Great seducers grasped this concept with the finesse of true masters. Let us examine the often neglected aspect: predictability. The issue with many individuals is their tendency to take things at face value. They express their thoughts candidly, request what they desire, and articulate their emotions clearly. Desire is not born from reasoning. Desire emerges from the disparity between knowledge and emotion. This is the art of persuasion. Not clarifying everything, yet allowing for a realm of possibilities to remain vibrant. A reflection of emotions, a maze of unaddressed desires. True fulfillment lies not in the answers we receive, but in the journey of exploration sparked by thought-provoking questions. Here exists a stark contradiction. As you strive for clarity to prevent rejection, she seeks out layers of complexity to which she can yield. A woman does not find herself captivated by the mundane. She finds herself drawn to the mystery. To the man who seeks not to dazzle, yet inspires intrigue in his wake. Paths she seeks to pursue, paths that inspire her contemplation. What ignites her desire for you lies not in what you reveal, but in what you keep hidden. Cleopatra, regarded as one of history's most formidable seductresses, seldom articulated her thoughts directly. Her strength resided in her enigmatic nature. Through her keen insight, she transformed ordinary dialogues into intricate webs of nuanced tension. The philosopher Plutarch characterized her presence as a harmonious blend of multiple strings, each contributing to a greater whole. She transitioned from one tone to another with remarkable composure. This represents the framework, an interplay of spoken energies. One does not approach with overt longing. You step in gently, yet there is a purposeful resolve that guides your presence. And that is the essential truth. Sexual tension is not forged through mere words. It is crafted with language, interspersed with silence and inflection. The essence of the message lies in its tone. The pause serves as the realm in which her imagination thrives. When you express something unclear and choose to stay silent, it sends a shiver down her spine. The stillness that follows the statement holds a deeper allure than the words spoken. In that moment, she manifests her vision. She fulfills the unspoken words you leave behind. And when her thoughts start to align, you find yourself already engaged. Envision two individuals. One might say, you possess an alluring charm. One person sips a drink and remarks that the flavor evokes a memory. Let it go. Who is more inclined to ignite longing? The initial offering fulfills its promise. The second provokes action. This second type of man occupies the thoughts of women in moments of solitude, whether in the shower, before sleep, or when a familiar fragrance wafts by. Not due to his clarity, but because he stirred up lingering memories. Letitia Felisberto exemplifies this with a seemingly trivial illustration. A seemingly ordinary glass of orange juice transformed into a catalyst for both amusement and unease, tied to a concealed memory, an unspoken jest, and an intimate illusion that lingered in the air, shrouded in ambiguity. That is the key. When a woman perceives the underlying truths in your words, she willingly engages in the dynamics at play. Sexual tension is merely complicity, cloaked in a facade of casualness. To attain this, one must cultivate a command of what I refer to as persuasive language. These are familiar terms, imbued with a sensory resonance. Joy, longing, challenge, minor transgression, mischievous, allure. When delivered with composure, a subtle smile, and a carefully chosen look, these words can turn any dialogue into a landscape of unspoken tension. And the woman recognizes it. Regardless of her denials, her laughter, or her attempts to divert the conversation, the truth remains that she felt it. That is sufficient. Humor is not the objective. It's about challenging the norm. It's not about captivating through fervor. It involves captivating others through wisdom. The distinction between the seducer and the desperate is straightforward. The adept understands that not every thought must be voiced. He understands that at times the most impactful word is the one that allows her thoughts to blossom with longing. In this quiet moment, she yields, unaware of her own submission. Imagination serves as a captivating snare, offering the greatest delight one can experience. You've acquired the skill to construct it with a phrase, a tone, and a subtle smile that leaves much unsaid. Engaging with a woman transcends the physical act of touch. It revolves around the essence of communication. The error that leads to the downfall of many is the failure to recognize that touch communicates in a way that is nuanced, quiet, yet profoundly impactful. Maintain your composure and respect her boundaries. A code is sent. You assess a limit. You encourage her body to react. Should she choose to respond, the dynamics shift significantly, because now it's not just about your progress. It is her body that permits it. This type of permission is not sought through verbal means. It is experienced. It has been stirred, and it is understood. Let us address the matter directly, without diversion. When you act impulsively, without a clear understanding of your emotions and the situation, you not only forfeit the chance at hand, you establish an obstruction. The female brain perceives the gesture as intrusive. It is of no consequence whether it was on the shoulder, the arm, or the hand. If she is unprepared, if there is an absence of tension, if you make contact prematurely, her body becomes rigid. This obstacle does not lead us back to the beginning. It reverts to an unfavorable position. What was once a neutral encounter transforms into an unrecognized discomfort. From that moment forward, every action you take will be shaped by the recollection of that impulsive act. A genuine seducer understands that a touch should never be forced. He provokes a bodily reaction. He takes in the surroundings with a calm and measured gaze. He interprets the signs with clarity. He advances only when her body subtly beckons him, maintaining a sense of restraint. For the truth lies not in approaching nearer. It lies in the unspoken invitation she extends. This begins with the unspoken communication of our actions and expressions. Her body inclined forward, the manner in which she arranges her arms. Observe how her leg gently angles in your direction. The more boisterous chuckle, the shoulder that brushes against yours unexpectedly. Everything happening now is a challenge from the body, urging you to rise to the occasion. And if you grasp this invitation, then the touch is not an intrusion. It is the essence of persistence. However, a pivotal moment exists. That moment becomes clear in how one responds to the initial encounter. Envision a conversation with her. All is in motion, joy abounds, and eyes meet with understanding. With a calm demeanor, you lightly place your hand on her arm as she shares a laugh. If she remains steadfast, consider it a sign of encouragement. If she reciprocates your touch, it remains entirely indifferent. However, should she change her stance, that slight movement of adjusting her hair while distancing herself conveys a clear message. The timing is flawed. The tension was not yet present. To insist now is to confirm your own dismissal. When touch fails to align with the energy of the moment, it is often seen as uncertain. A man who exerts excessive effort often comes across as desperate. Dependence undermines strength. Leticia Felisberto skillfully illustrated this in the podcast by embodying the gesture of silent rejection. The woman feigns adjusting her hair, merely to brush the man's hand aside. This demonstrates a level of sophistication, as she does not outright reject him. She severs the connection with him. And if the man fails to grasp this principle, he persists. Every insistence adds another brick to the wall of refusal. Her body communicates a truth that her words will never express. And that is precisely why understanding the essence is far more significant than the act itself. Now, let us turn our attention to the complete opposite end of the spectrum. The embraced and enhanced connection. When you make contact with her arm, and rather than retreating, she embraces your hand, intertwines your fingers, or remarks on the size of your hand in relation to hers. What was once a green light has transformed into a black card, granting exclusive access. That is the moment when tension manifests physically, imagination transforms into action, and desire takes form in the body. A memorable moment Leticia shares is when a woman intertwines her fingers with a man, holds them, and remarks, "Look how small my hand is next to yours." This gesture, appearing harmless, carries a profound message beneath the surface. I desire your presence near me. This is the moment where there is no turning back. From this interlocking of fingers onward, inaction reveals a lack of confidence. Insecurity at this stage serves as a disappointing counterpoint. It alleviates the pressure. What might have been a kiss now gives way to uncertainty. Her body presented an opportunity, yet you faltered. Indecision undermines allure. This is the point at which the concept of gradually increasing physical intensity becomes relevant. Begin not with physical contact, but by cultivating the right environment. The environment consists of fleeting looks, moments of silence, uncertain expressions, and a constricted physical presence. First, the gentle contact, followed by the enduring connection, and finally, the mutual exchange. And then, the moment of convergence. Hands that connect, arms that embrace, heads that lean. All this without a mention of intimacy, passion, or longing. Desire exists inherently. The body has made its declaration. Now it is time to act. To reach that stage, it is essential to grasp a fundamental principle of existence. Intimacy develops gradually, requiring both progression and unspoken consent. Herein lies the harsh truth. The more you refrain from reaching out, the more you will find that genuine connections come to you effortlessly. Touch is not a forceful act. It is a privilege that must be cultivated and deserved. Genuine touch emerges from a foundation of connection, rather than from a forceful approach. The current situation stems from the psychological tension you've built up in the past. The woman must sense that touching you is a natural progression, not an unexpected event. Touch should emerge as a natural outcome of the connection you are cultivating. True connection arises not from the act of reaching out, but from igniting the yearning to be reached for. This brings us to a more profound challenge. The interplay of sexual tension reveals a nuanced balance of power. Who engages and who permits? Who takes the lead and who follows in this journey? Who takes the risk and who grants their approval? The skilled seducer excels in this dance, not through forceful intrusion, but by artfully implying and guiding the experience. He evaluates, withdraws, progresses, watches, adjusts. He recognizes that every body is a domain, with its own entrances, barriers, and hidden cues. Only those who diligently examine the map may proceed without facing expulsion. The French philosopher Merleau-Ponty articulated that the body serves as the manifestation of existence within the world. In essence, All emotions experienced by an individual are conveyed through their physical presence. When faced with discomfort, they tend to withdraw inward. When curiosity strikes, they draw closer. Should they wish, they come forth. He who disregards these signals is engaging in a game of chess without sight. Attraction is not achieved through excessive words. It involves enhancing your perception. It involves understanding the dynamics of space, time, and energy that exist between two individuals who have yet to make contact, yet are already engaging in a subtle, unspoken exchange. Now grasp the harshest realities. Physicality transcends mere touch. It's about the way you place yourself. It concerns your movements, your posture, and the way you inhabit your surroundings. A person who comprehends the nature of tension positions themselves within reach of attention, yet maintains a distance that fosters longing. He maintains his boundaries. He extends an invitation. With every step she takes toward him, he remains composed, unhurried in his response. He understands that pressure accumulates in the space between action and reaction, and when the touch finally occurs, the genuine, the acknowledged, the sought after, he does not regard it as a triumph. He views it as a passage, an opportunity to elevate the bond to a deeper understanding. He refrains from celebration. He persists in his efforts. A genuine seducer seeks more than mere physical contact. He seeks the acceptance of defeat. True surrender arises when she senses her own agency, even amidst his meticulous planning from that very first glance. Robust physical tension serves a purpose beyond mere affection. It forms a physical imprint, an emotional trace she holds within her, long after the moment has passed. It's a sensation that resurfaces when a familiar song plays, when she steps into a bar that echoes the past, when she recalls the dialogue that led to that instant. That is the moment when the game becomes concrete, when you transcend mere existence. Your presence remains etched within her, a lasting impression that endures beyond your departure. All of this starts with the initial contact, or more precisely, with the opportune moment to engage. Understanding the significance of that moment distinguishes the one who merely wishes from the one who is genuinely sought after. She possesses the strength to withstand a compliment. She possesses the ability to evade a touch. She can dismiss an advance with composure. However, there are two elements that, when applied effectively, can dismantle any emotional barriers: a confident voice, delivered with purpose, and an appearance that commands respect without seeking approval. In a realm filled with distractions, where the mind is constantly pulled by vibrant hues, enticing shapes, and fleeting assurances, the real allure lies beyond the surface of what is presented. It aligns with the essence of being present. Presence transcends mere proximity. To truly embody presence is to ensure your essence resonates, even in moments of quietude. This strength is encapsulated in two often overlooked resources: quality of voice and intensity of look. Let us begin with the voice. The voice transcends mere sound. It is a matter of chemistry. It moves through the ear and engages the limbic system, the region of the brain that governs emotions, pleasure, and memory. A study conducted by the University of British Columbia found that voices that are deeper, slower, and more rhythmic tend to be viewed as more alluring. What is the reason behind this? Because they provide a sense of stability. They embody mastery over oneself. They exhibit a commanding presence over emotions. At the core, female desire draws towards a blend of stability and unpredictability simultaneously. The steady voice, measured and deliberate, asserts, "I command." It is the unforeseen cadence, the deliberate stillness, the subtle hint within a phrase that conveys the power to astonish. The ideal voice transcends mere depth. It is deliberate. It expresses itself with restraint. It halts. It allows the female intellect to flourish. Her mind seeks closure on what remains unspoken. In this realm, desire subtly weaves its way in. When you express that you can't fathom the thoughts racing through your mind and then fall silent, she will conjure countless scenarios in her imagination. All of them hold a strength that surpasses any direct assertion. Now, it is her own imagination that poses the greatest challenge. That is tension in its most unrefined form. Yet, the voice by itself is a dull instrument. The gaze is sharp and discerning. The gaze serves as the most unfiltered and immediate conduit of sexual tension. Not that rigid, contrived gaze that appears practiced. Yet the gaze that emerges mid-sentence, that deepens at the conclusion of a jest, that halts the passage of time for a brief moment at the bar table. This gaze, when maintained at the perfect instant, unwavering and calm, conveys a message. I acknowledge your presence, transcending mere dialogue. Such a gaze has the power to dissolve barriers we often erect. Many men perceive a woman through a lens of desire or expectation. Focus, attachment, acceptance. A master of allure presents himself as someone with much to offer. Focus and resolve. When she senses that your gaze holds weight, she feels acknowledged, not in her physical form, but in the depths of her being. When a woman experiences genuine recognition, she opens herself to her emotions. As her emotional security is no longer tethered to control, she finds herself fully engaged in the realm of tension. And here arrives the most polished performance: the relationship among voice, gaze, and pause. When you speak gently, hold her gaze, and then embrace silence, you cultivate an emotional void. What is most repressed inevitably fills the void. What is held back? Yearning. The connection that was never realized. The kiss that remains unfulfilled. The unacknowledged tension courses through her, a silent pulse beneath the surface. A woman finds love not in the words you speak, but in the emotions that linger in the silence between them. In this realm, her body reacts accordingly. In this stillness, her heart quickens. Because you're not merely speaking, you're orchestrating an emotional cadence. Mastering rhythm leads to a state of profound focus and clarity. In The Art of Seduction, Robert Greene articulates this concept with clarity when he delves into the nature of the enchanter, the individual who enchants not by exerting power, but by cultivating an environment of tranquility, who communicates with a calm demeanor, yet commands respect. One who remains steadfast in their composure, yet subtly conveys their aspirations. The enchanter does not impose, he invites participation. The strength of his voice resides in its ease with silence. Those who find peace in silence are the ones who truly influence their surroundings. This is precisely where many falter. They speak excessively. They elaborate excessively. When they choose to speak, their words are laced with tension, agitation, and an overwhelming need to justify themselves. The voice reflects not a yearning, but a sense of unease. The gaze remains detached, observing, yearning, anticipating a reply. This does not create tension, it depletes energy. The seducer, in contrast, utters few words, yet imbues each syllable with undeniable presence. He recognizes the strength that lies in the nuances of intonation. He understands that a well-considered phrase, articulated with purpose, leaves a lasting impression. He might express that you're amusing, blending in with the crowd, It's clear that you understand the effect your words have on me, don't you? With a calm demeanor, a deliberate pause, an intense gaze, and a subtle smile, evoke a profound emotional response in mere moments. This is the essential point to consider. The most enduring tension is often the one that appears to be coincidental, yet was meticulously orchestrated. The woman is unaware that you are executing a method. She must recognize that a shift occurred in that moment. Your voice transcends the ordinary. Your gaze held greater significance. Your silence conveyed more than any words ever could. In that fleeting moment, she experienced a sense of vulnerability. That is the true influence. When honing your voice, consider more than just the volume. Consider the essence of vibration and frequency, the importance of strategic pauses, and the power of delivering a statement followed by a moment of silence for her response. Not through words, but through her physical presence. The unbidden smile. The averted gaze reflects a deeper understanding of the self and the world around us. The lip that bears the mark of restraint. These are the indicators that reveal her feelings. Direct your attention, but avoid fixating on her whole face. Concentrate on her gaze, then shift to her lips and return to her gaze. This action, performed with deliberate slowness, tranquility, and quietude, is perceived as a prelude to a kiss, even if you choose not to kiss. A gaze can resonate more profoundly than a physical touch, especially when it is imbued with purpose. The key lies in exuding a sense of ease within the environment you are cultivating. Embrace the stillness without regret. Do not seek to explain your tone of voice. Maintain your focus, even in moments of unease. Pause for a moment. Maintain it steadfastly. Embrace the tension, recognizing that this is merely the start of your journey. And that transforms the entire situation. What genuinely captivates a woman is not merely the perfect words. It is the individual who can bear the burden of his own existence without disrupting the atmosphere. The voice and the look harmonize, much like a bow and arrow, each complementing the other with purpose and precision. One readies themselves, the other takes action. One entices, the other affirms. One establishes the atmosphere, the other carries out the consequence. When these two forces unite, they possess the power to unravel even the most composed individual. Because, at a fundamental level, her body has already made the decision before her mind has the chance to articulate it. And it all began with a tone, a profound stillness, a glance. And here we conclude the process of cultivating tension, yet the game continues. Now that she has experienced it, everything that follows will be shaped by longing. There is no need for further action. Remain steadfast as the individual who commands the environment around you, with measured words, deliberate gestures, and an unyielding resolve to step forward. You've reached this point and understood that true seduction lies beyond mere flattery, straightforward approaches, or impulsive gestures. It resides in the underlying meaning, in the stillness, in the quiet that resonates more profoundly than any declaration of love. A person who truly understands this requires no persuasion. He merely provokes. He remains composed and self-sufficient, not seeking validation from others. He draws others in. This magnetism is not a matter of chance. It is not a gift. It's not an inherent charm. It is the practice of examining code. It is a language that remains concealed. It is an understanding of the mental aspects of the game that eludes many. A woman perceives when you possess mastery over yourself, when you communicate not to dazzle, but to subtly convey your thoughts, when your gaze does not seek permission, but instead pierces through the surface, when your touch transcends mere request. It becomes a response to the silent consent her body has already granted. In that instant, tension evolves into a palpable yearning. When her body craves it before her mind can even process, that strength is innate or cultivated through discipline. To genuinely grasp these concepts, not merely dabble in them, but to attain mastery, you must seek out the most incisive, unconventional, and straightforward material ever produced on the topic. The Elusive Guide, a method to ignite longing in a minute. This is more than just another audiobook. It serves as a powerful tool, brimming with profound insights. It dismantles every misconception you've been fed regarding masculinity, vulnerability, attraction, and social influence. It presents itself without any filters. You've been led to think that vulnerability fosters deeper connections. That is not the truth. It renders you expendable. You've been led to believe that kindness holds a certain allure. Incorrect. It renders you consistent. You've been conditioned to seek approval, to comprehend, to be attentive. Yet, you have not been guided to challenge, to command your surroundings, to harness silence as a powerful catalyst. This manual accomplishes precisely that. It transforms you internally, allowing your very essence to convey what mere words cannot express. You will come to understand that vulnerability is not a form of allure. Rather, it is a misdirected frailty. True attraction emerges from the quiet tension between opposites, where the solid, enigmatic essence of masculinity meets the natural, instinctive response of femininity. You will gain the ability to perceive beyond superficial facades, recognize emotional manipulation, avoid pitfalls, and begin to influence your own results. The Elusive Guide on Igniting Desire in just 60 seconds transcends mere stock phrases. It involves transforming your energy, allowing you to effortlessly engage in any situation, be it a date, a bar, or casual conversation, enabling you to ignite attraction in an instant. When you grasp the essence of the game, participation becomes unnecessary. You establish the principles. The challenge persists. Select a woman today and put it to the test. In a moment, through a glance, with a gentle gesture, time lingers. And then heed the guidance provided. Reflect, comprehend, grow. Once you experience this level of strength, returning to a mundane existence is simply not an option. If these words echo your truth, write this in the comments. I begin my journey. I read every one, and I walk this path with you. Subscribe, because the stories we've yet to tell are the ones that change us most. What did you think of the video? Be sure to give it a thumbs up and drop a comment to share if you journeyed all the way to the end of the video. Simply utter those words, and I'll understand that this video made a difference for you. Thank you kindly, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more captivating tales like this one. I've set aside a few of our videos that will be quite beneficial for you. They appear before our eyes, alive on the screen.